Hello everybody, welcome back to MoMoVs The Bazaar. Today we're covering a bit of a different topic than the usual gameplay, which you see before you, but this is a top 5 list of the favorite items that I like to play with in the Bazaar. This list is constantly changing, but right now these are 5 items I'm really drawn to and try to make work if I have an opportunity to play them. Some are good, some are memes, and some are dreams. So with that, let's jump right into this, but first, a word from our favorite kitty, Casanova. She says hello. She's chilling on my computer tower, watching over all her glory, because this is all for her. Awesome cat, awesome cat. So, there's an item on my board right now, which is kind of out of place, what you typically see. And no, it's not the stinger, although that is correct as well. It is proboscis. A silly item that you get from the giant mosquito or dire mosquito. You can also acquire this in the curio shop, so I do like you have a decent chance of getting this, but it's as simple as when you slow, deal damage, and it's that it. I've seen probably a handful, 3 or 4 maybe different boards I run into where other people are trying to use proboscis. I think it's pretty good. It's not like a top tier strategy, however, you can definitely make it work. And real quick, cover the enchantments here. All your typical stuff, when you slow, shield, heal, burn, yada yada, freeze. But then you look at heavy. You can also enchant it with heavy. Don't make the mistake I did, where if you do enchant it, you get a slow value of 0, I guess it's whatever's coded into the game, and it does indeed in fact not slow at all. That being said, I am pretty curious about if you get like another curio shop and give your one of the items there, say, oh, give your leftmost item plus 1 slow. That I have not tried. I'm willing to throw a lot of runs trying to get that. So if I find out, I'll let you know. If you can increase the slow, and then basically that looks like an infinite of sorts. It could be an oversight, but either way, if it works, works. Doesn't work, I'll let you know. Probably one of my videos. So, and it's really good on Vanessa and really good on Dooley. As you can see here on Dooley, you have something like the plasma grenade here, right? Burns both players 5, but also slows all the enemy items. Or no, it's Dooley's item we have here, right? Is the plasma grenade, but we're usually on Vanessa board. That being said, it triggers proboscis a lot. It's similar to a B strategy in a way. But it relies less on your opponents and more on your ability to slow. Slow skills are pretty good in general, and even this board here, you see I'm running Crow's Nest, which doesn't make too much sense because it cannot crit, but we're doing it just for the lifesteal, and it turns out to be a pretty decent strategy. So really like proboscis and highly recommend that more people try to pick up this item. Moving on from there, we have the Tropical Island. Silly item, starts at gold tier, and basically what it says is, let me pull it up before I quote it incorrectly. Sorry, I am a rookie at this. Rookie at all this stuff. Cool. When you slow, gain 2 to 4 regen for the fight. If you can't tell, slow is a very near and dear strategy to my heart. I really do enjoy the synergy. And here's another thing with it. So you see on this board here, I have Flashbang, which is similar to Plasma Grenade, but instead of burning, it just slows all their items. And that gives you a ton of triggers with the Tropical Island here. See the regen going up a ton, and as a mechanic, regen really isn't that great. The only thing I'd say it's pretty good against is a poison build. You kind of counteract it, but again, this doesn't make you actively win the game. and the regen here is locked at 4 when pufferfish can poison you or something at like rates of 20 plus per trigger. So it's really tough to keep up with that still. So I would say this is more of a meme, closer to a dream, right? And yeah, it has its typical enchantments. Start of each fight slow, because it can't, you know, when you slow trigger, right? That'd be totally broken if you had heavy on it. But nothing too crazy. Shiny, but shiny's so rare. Double regen, like that'd be really good. So I'd say this is definitely closer to the dream side of things, to make it work. But the best thing about this item though is not even playing it. Playing it is the meme to me. But the dream is to just have it in your inventory, and it gives you a coconut or a, reading is important, citrus at the start of each day, which either gives you max health or regen. So just to have it in your inventory is very great. It is a gold item, so you can only find it starting day 5 on. But if you pick it up early, it can provide a ton of value. I've had 100 plus regen just from having this in my inventory, never playing it. So highly recommend you start picking up this item if you can, especially earlier the better. So yes. Moving on from there, we have one of my favorite items as of late is the crane. The crane is very powerful in my opinion. It gets locked down and more susceptible to freeze because you have to play so many other medium and heavy items. Let's take a closer look at this, right? So you can find it starting at gold tier dually item, right? When you use an adjacent large item, this gains between 30 to 60% based on its value here of damage for the fight, and medium items 20 to 40. So what really shocked me about this is that these aren't number values. This is percentage increase. And it's got typical enchantments here. So you can see something like this. This is already doing 4,500 damage, and that's from a couple of the weapon trigger here and a couple of the weak point detector trigger. And it's already scaling up such incredible damage as you see here. If this is allowed to go off, it's basically like a double whammy or lion's cane equivalent to the pig build. Just doesn't require you to have as much HP, just items that can trigger it really fast. You can see us even taking down a pig in this clip here. And yeah, there is, besides getting it as a large item from an item shop as dually, you can also get it from the Foreman fight. I forget what day that's on. It's like 6 or 7 probably. But you can get this in other classes as well and take advantage of it. But you can see here 37,000 damage by the end of this fight. So even it's probably the best scaling weapon I think in the game all by itself. I like the weak point detector because slow synergies charge it really fast. You can have it increase the damage of the crane really fast. And the pulse rifle combo is as true as time. There's so many triggers going on here to scale it up. And all these games you see before you are games I've had. Highly recommend taking a look. Especially this one, Integer Overflow. Don't watch the whole thing. But you get to the point where you see... Oh no, this one you can watch. There's a different one where Sparring Bot holds me hostage, but let's not get into that. Look how much damage. This is in the millions by now. So like, again, the best scaling item until it's not. It is a really funny interaction here, which we'll get to. Bam. You see that? See that real quick? We've gotten to negative damage. So integer overflow happens. It can happen because how much this scales. Really caught me off guard first time I saw this. I'm like, this is insane. So, and then I don't see too many crane boards. It's a little tougher to assemble and survive because you need these fast triggering items to support it, and it's on a 10-second cooldown. But if it goes off, by golly, your opponents are in for a real shocker. Yeah, and that is the crane. Moving on from there, we have another item here that I really enjoy, the atomic clock. This is an item that you can find on Dually as a tool. It starts at silver tier, and silver tier is really not good. This item is more of a meme to me than a dream, because you really need diamond tier for this to even be, I think, remotely effective. The less items your opponent has, the better it is, because if they have like 1 or 2 items, like a Vanessa with a crow's nest and maybe another big item, like crow's nest flagship, right? Let's give that example. Crow's nest can't get affected by this, but flagship can, and can get a ton of cooldown time. You can see here in some of the gameplay, some of these items are insanely long, and the cooldown is almost equivalent to freeze. You see 14 seconds, 17 seconds, 18 seconds worth of cooldown. That's an entire fight length before this even gets to go off once, as long as you can apply it as fast as possible. In a Vanessa build, it's extremely funny because you can keep reloading it, which is the problem Dually has. The best thing Dually has is to give it more ammo, something along those lines, but Vanessa, with either port, or you can see the powder flask, can keep firing this over and over again, which leads to like a really alternative win con here, needless to say. But you can see you can even make it work on Dually. I have one particular talent here. Yeah, you can see 21 seconds. Like, 21 seconds, that is not going off. I think the talent there is Jury Rigger, where if you use a tool, or no, when you use an ammo item, refill the ammo item to the left. In order to make this work efficiently like this, which this is probably the better version than even the Vanessa one, is to have missile aisles, which is like the only ammo item that refills itself. So now you can refill any other ammo items, and it doesn't just have to be atomic clock, it can be anything else. So if you get so lucky, this leads to a lot of different and neat things Dually can do, right? So super neat, super fun item, and watching your opponent's cooldowns go into unplayable territory is awesome to see. So that is Ammo Dually. So without further ado, this is what you all been waiting for, and I think you know what's coming. It's your boy, Walter Cooler. That's right. When I see this item, it just brings me joy. It's such a simple concept of between neurons activating when you see all the haste and triggers, when you have the friend core, and numbers go up, right? Simply bliss. Every time you use an adjacent friend, you charge it 1. But if you manage to level it up all the way, this charge 1 goes to charge 2. 10-second cooldown doesn't seem so long when it's perma-hasted because of the friend core, and also you're charging it off your other things, like the friend core and Micro Dave in particular. They're probably one of the fastest triggering friends, because they also charge when you use either a friend or small item if you're Micro Dave, which allows you to scale a decent amount of HP. You give pigs a run for their money, and then that's compared to a pig who's constantly having to buy items. They used to have arms dealer, used to have to do that. And the only way they really surpass you is if they have a belt. Like, yeah, Dually's not getting a belt, he's not doubling or, increasing his HP that much, but Walter Cooler scaling is a real thing, and allows an opportunity for your friends to really put in work. As you can see here, if you get an enchantment on it, it triggers a ton and then becomes an actually good item. Because late game, it really doesn't do all that much, unless you're running Micro Dave here, because these guys kind of trigger each other, right? They both charge each other, which kind of just makes sense. And that's when it becomes a pretty potent combination here. If it's a little tougher to make it to the spot, but if you have Water Cooler going, day 13 having 7300 HP is not a ton, but it's a lot more than most other dualies out there. Probably only have like 3 or 4k, so can make the difference and is a joy to play with, and it's just a feels good item. I acquire this, I know I'm gonna be having a good day, so yeah, I think that covers most of the bases. So again, none of these are really in any particular order, but if you haven't given these items a shot, I would say give them a shot, because I think they're a little less known, little less used, unless, of course, Water Cooler. I hope everyone and their mother knows about this item. Give them a whirl. Let me know, what are some of your favorite items? And maybe some I covered, maybe some I did not cover. So let me know, what are some of your favorite items in the bazaar? Really looking forward to more stuff coming out. And without further ado, make sure you like, subscribe if you made it this far. Thanks for hanging out with Momo vs. Bazaar, and I'll talk to you next time. And Kat is getting up. She said it's time to get up. Time to get up. That's right. She wants you to like, subscribe, and comment. Don't forget to comment, please. And I'll talk to you on the next one. Bye-bye.